Wysteria, energy, twister. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to the collection of Drac Von Stollor. This tale is called The Werewolf. Something was dead and buried deep in the woods that should have been left hidden. Something with a history steeped in darkness and dread. The chilling secret lay dormant beneath layers of soil and time, waiting for an unwitting soul to stir its malevolent slumber. A man by the name of Luther, known for his fearless demeanour, was about to take a dare that would forever alter the course of his life and set in motion a chain of events that would haunt the town for generations. Luther was the kind of person who scoffed at fear, who found a perverse sense of superiority in the face of the unknown. To him, the idea of disturbing the sanctity of a grave 6 feet below was an inconsequential act, a mere game to prove his dominance over superstitions. He believed that the dead were just that, dead, and the tales of curses and vengeful spirits were nothing but folklore. Then, one fateful day, Luther's audacity was put to the test. His friends, sensing his arrogance, dared him to dance upon and desecrate the grave of a man whose legend had transcended mortality, a man who was said to have been a true werewolf. Luther laughed off the dare, brushing aside the ominous warning as mere theatrics. He agreed, thinking it was an easy feat that would only solidify his reputation as a fearless figure. With the moon hanging full and heavy in the ink-black sky, Luther followed his friends deep into the heart of the woods. Their journey led them to an abandoned house that exuded an air of foreboding. Here, beneath the shadowy canopy, was the resting place of the so-called monster. A wooden tombstone jutted from the earth like a twisted finger, its inscription etched, a chilling prophecy. Whosoever disturbs my sleep when the moon is full will surely die by the hands of the werewolf. Luther's confidence remained unshaken. He scoffed at the words, mocking the legend and his own friends who hesitated in the face of the ominous warning. "You guys are a bunch of fools," he declared. "There's no such things as werewolves." "Luther," cautioned Jason, his tone laden with a mix of concern and unease. "The dare only stands on the night of a full moon. Without it, the dare is null, and you'll become the laughing-stock of all your bravado." Luther's laughter rang through the cold night air. "Don't you worry," he assured them, his voice oozing with arrogance. "I won't let my friends down." And so, as the moon ascended its throne in the celestial expanse, Luther embarked on his reckless mission. With a video camera in hand, he danced upon the werewolf's grave, his footsteps echoing in the stillness. With each defiant step he chanted, "There are no such things as werewolves," his voice growing bolder and bolder with each repetition. Yet, as the third declaration left his lips, a primal force shattered the boundaries between myth and reality. A gnarled, hairy hand erupted from the soil, its grip like a vice around Luther's ankle. The ground trembled beneath him as he fell, his bravado giving way to a stark terror he had never known. He stared, wide-eyed, as the grave's inhabitant clawed its way to the surface. The werewolf, once bound by death, now freed by the audacity of a foolish mortal. A haunting howl pierced the night, a mournful cry that curdled the blood. So, there are no such things as werewolves? The creature's voice resonated with an eerie blend of mockery and malice. In an instant the air was suffused with a palpable malevolence, as the werewolf lunged at Luther with a ferocity that defied nature itself. The gruesome tableau that unfolded was etched into the annals of the supernatural. The werewolf tore into Luther's body, rending flesh from bone, inflicting a grotesque symphony of agony upon his victim. Blood painted the earth in macabre patterns, a stark contrast to the pallid glow of the moon. Luther's anguished screams were swallowed by the night, a testament to dire consequences of human hubris. As the first light of dawn broke the horizon, revealing the aftermath of the horrifying spectacle, Jason ventured to the scene. Horror clenched his heart as he bore witness to the remnants of his friend's fate. Only a gruesome mosaic remained, a chilling testament to the wrath of the unearthly being. With trembling hands, Jason retrieved the video camera that had captured Luther's ill-fated defiance. He watched in a trance, the footage a harrowing journey into the abyss that now yawned from him. The sight of Luther's demise, immortalized in pixels, served as a grim reminder of the boundaries that should never be crossed. Jason's voice quivered as he recounted the tragedy to the police, a tale that bordered on surreal. "You must believe me," he implored, his eyes heavy with the weight of his friend's demise. "There's a video, proof of what happened." The officer on the other end of the line met Jason's plea with skepticism. "Is this like a sick prank? Some kind of joke?" "No, officer. Please, watch the tape." Jason's voice trembled. "You'll see it for yourself." In the dimly lit room of the police station, Jason and two officers hurried up and huddled around a screen. Initially dismissive, their expressions morphed from incredulity to abject horror as the footage unfolded. One officer's stomach revolted, the contents of his dinner expelled into the nearby trash can. The physical reality of the video extinguished any lingering doubts. "This can't be real," one officer muttered, his voice barely above a whisper, as he watched the werewolf's brutal assault play out in agonizing detail. Believe me now?" Jason's voice quivered, his eyes locking onto the gruesome scene. "There's evidence at the scene, body parts, there's blood. We need to do something." The decision was swift. Investigation was warranted. The officers ventured into the woods, their steps guided by a macabre trail of gore and fragments. Among the trees, they discovered the remnants of life lost to unfathomable horror, each piece a testament to a monster that had been awoken. As days turned to weeks, the town was gripped by fear and uncertainty. Whispers spread like wildfire, woven with tales of supernatural and the abomination that had been wrought. But the authorities chose secrecy, concealing the truth from the public, a decision that teetered on the edge of collapse. For the cycle of the moon was unrelenting, and as it waxed full once more, a chilling realization dawned. The creatures were not singular, they were a scourge. The streets became hunting grounds. Terror reigned. The town, now besieged by the army of the damned, descended into chaos. Desperation clawed at the hearts of the residents, and the army was summoned, their rifles laden with bullets forged from silver and metal that bore the weight of a legend. The conflict that ensued was one of survival, a battle against an onslaught of monstrosities. The once peaceful town now bore the scars of this otherworldly war, its streets painted with the grotesque remnants of battle. The mayor, a figure of dwindling hope, face suppressed with grim resolve. His words aimed to pacify, to restore a semblance of stability to fractured communities. The threat had been neutralized, he declared, his voice a mask of turmoil that lay beneath. a town is safe once more. Yet, as the ashes of the final werewolf settled, a shadow lingered. The memory of the horrors that had transpired, the knowledge that malevolence could awaken with a single misplaced step. Jason emerged from the ordeal a changed man. The weight of guilt and grief bore heavily on his shoulders, a burden that could never truly be cast aside. The lessons etched into his soul were profound, lessons of recklessness, of the binds and bounds that tether the living to the spectral realm, and the consequences of tampering with forces beyond comprehension. The town would never be the same. Its streets whispered of the bloodshed that had stained its soil, and caution became a virtue held above all else. The grave that had been disturbed, the one that had birthed the terror, was forgotten by many, a nameless pit of darkness, a place buried deep in the woods. And so the tale would fade, obscured by the passage of time, relegated to the realm of myth and legend. But those who still walked the streets at night, who gazed upon the moon with a wary eye, would remember the price of arrogance and the terror that lurked within the woods. An eternal reminder that some things are best left dead and buried, forgotten by the living. The end. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Drac Von Stollor Collection, The Werewolf. Please hit the like, share if you can, and if you're not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Many blessings. Wysteria. Energy. Twister.